Have you ever wondered why some women just don't seem interested no matter how much effort you put into dating or trying to impress them? The truth is, attraction is influenced by subtle behaviors, social cues, and the way you approach women in the dating world. Understanding these dynamics can help you recognize mistakes, early improve your interactions, and increase your chances of building meaningful connections. In this video, we'll explore the 10 main reasons women may not be attracted to you based on modern dating knowledge and actionable advice. Stick around as we break down each reason with real-life examples. Reason number 1, being overly controlling or demanding. One of the main reasons women lose interest in a man is when he comes across as overly controlling or demanding. While confidence and taking initiative are attractive traits, when these behaviors cross the line into controlling actions or constant demands, they can create tension and emotional distance. Women are naturally drawn to men who demonstrate leadership, self-assurance, and the ability to balance assertiveness with empathy. In real life, this behavior may appear as a man dictating all the details of a date from the location, timing, and activities without consulting his partner. He may also attempt to control who she spends time with or impose rules on how she should behave in social or personal situations. For example, imagine a man planning a night out and insisting on deciding the restaurant, entertainment, and schedule without asking her opinion. Even if he believes he is helping or taking the lead, this can make her feel undervalued, restricted, and unheard. Over time, these patterns can erode attraction and create emotional distance. Women appreciate men who can take the lead, but also respect her voice and choices. A healthy dynamic is built on collaboration and mutual respect rather than unilateral control. Overly demanding behavior often signals insecurity or fear of losing control, which subconsciously reduces attraction and can make women feel less emotionally safe. To overcome this, focus on developing emotional intelligence and awareness of how your behavior impacts others. Learn to lead with confidence while actively considering her preferences and feelings. Encourage open dialogue and demonstrate flexibility rather than imposing your will on every decision. Practice listening attentively, asking for input, and making compromises when appropriate. Additionally, maintain your independence and personal life. This not only models self-sufficiency, but also reduces the need to control every aspect of the relationship. Demonstrating patience, empathy, and a willingness to negotiate creates an environment of respect and mutual trust. A woman who feels heard, valued, and respected is more likely to engage emotionally and invest in the connection. Reflection and advice is that women are attracted to men who lead confidently without being controlling. Combining leadership with collaboration and respect creates a foundation for emotional intimacy and lasting attraction. Balancing assertiveness with understanding ensures the relationship thrives on trust, freedom, and mutual admiration. Reason number 2, lack of emotional stability. Another major reason women may lose interest in a man is a lack of emotional stability. Emotional stability is the ability to manage feelings, handle stress calmly, and maintain composure in challenging situations. Women are naturally drawn to men who can regulate their emotions because it signals maturity, reliability, and the ability to create a safe and balanced relationship environment. In real life, this may appear as a man overreacting to minor disagreements, becoming easily frustrated with unexpected situations, or swinging between affection and anger unpredictably. For example, imagine a man on a date when a minor mishap occurs, like a delayed reservation or a traffic delay, and he responds with visible irritation, criticism, or complaining excessively. Instead of handling the situation calmly, he may make the woman feel anxious or responsible for his mood. Over time, repeated emotional volatility can reduce trust, increase stress, and decrease overall attraction. Women appreciate men who can communicate their emotions clearly while maintaining control and composure. Emotional stability allows for rational problem solving, fosters emotional security, and encourages open dialogue. A man who cannot manage his emotions may subconsciously signal unreliability, making women hesitant to invest emotionally. To improve emotional stability, focus on developing self-awareness and emotional intelligence. Learn to recognize triggers, pause before reacting, and express feelings constructively. Practice mindfulness, journaling, or breathing techniques to manage stress effectively. Cultivating patience and resilience allows a man to respond thoughtfully rather than impulsively, enhancing trust and connection. Additionally, develop a support system outside of the romantic relationship, such as friends, hobbies, or personal activities. This reduces dependence on the partner for emotional regulation and encourages healthier interactions. When both partners feel safe and emotionally balanced, intimacy and attraction naturally grow. Reflection and advice is that women are attracted to men who demonstrate calmness, resilience, and the ability to handle life's challenges with composure. Emotional stability communicates reliability, trustworthiness, and emotional maturity. By cultivating these traits, a man not only improves his dating success, but also lays the foundation for deeper connection, mutual respect, and a lasting relationship. Reason number 3, constant need for validation. A major reason women may lose interest in a man is when he constantly seeks validation. Seeking reassurance occasionally is natural, but overdependence on external approval signals insecurity and reduces attraction. Women are drawn to men who are confident, self-assured, and comfortable in their own skin. In real life, this may appear as a man repeatedly asking if he looks good, if she likes him, or seeking praise for minor achievements. For example, imagine a man texting his partner multiple times in one evening, asking if she thinks he is attractive or doing the right thing. She may feel pressured and burdened by his need for constant reassurance. Over time, this behavior can make her feel drained and decrease emotional intimacy. Women appreciate men who validate themselves internally and take pride in their own abilities and appearance. Self-confidence is far more attractive than relying on someone else to confirm your worth. Men who over-rely on external validation risk appearing needy or emotionally insecure, which can reduce attraction. To overcome this, focus on building self-esteem and internal validation. Engage in activities that bring a sense of accomplishment, such as hobbies, fitness, or personal growth. Celebrate achievements privately and trust in your own judgment, instead of seeking constant approval from others. Learn to embrace compliments gracefully without needing them for confidence. Additionally, practice clear communication with your partner. When expressing emotions or seeking support, do so in a balanced way rather than testing her for reassurance. Avoid excessive comparison with other men or past relationships, as this can create insecurity in the relationship. Reflection and advice is that women are attracted to men who are self-assured and emotionally independent. Constantly seeking validation can create emotional tension and reduce connection. By cultivating self-confidence and internal validation, a man enhances his attractiveness, fosters trust, and builds a healthier, more balanced dynamic that encourages long-term attraction and meaningful relationships. Reason number 4, poor grooming and lack of attention to appearance. Another important reason women may lose interest in a man is poor grooming and neglect of personal appearance. Physical presentation and hygiene are among the first impressions in dating and everyday interactions, and they communicate self-respect, confidence, and care. Women are naturally drawn to men who take pride in their appearance because it signals discipline and personal responsibility. In real life, this may appear as a man who consistently wears wrinkled or dirty clothes, ignores basic hygiene such as brushing teeth or showering regularly, or neglects grooming habits like hair, nails, or facial hair. For example, imagine a man going on a first date with visible body odor, untidy hair, and mismatched clothing. She may perceive this as a lack of effort or care, reducing initial attraction and signaling low self-respect. Women appreciate men who present themselves well without being obsessed with appearance. Simple habits like maintaining cleanliness, dressing appropriately for occasions, and paying attention to grooming create a positive impression and demonstrate maturity. Over time, neglecting these aspects can subconsciously communicate laziness, lack of confidence, or disregard for shared social norms, which can push women away. To improve in this area, establish a daily grooming routine including regular showers, dental hygiene, hair care, and clean, well-fitted clothing. Invest in basic wardrobe staples and dress for situations appropriately. Pay attention to small details like shoes, accessories, and personal scent, which enhance overall presence. Additionally, cultivate self care as part of your lifestyle. This includes fitness, skincare, and mental well being, which not only improve appearance but also boost confidence and energy. Women are attracted to men who care about themselves and maintain a sense of personal pride. Reflection and advice is that women notice and value men who take care of themselves. Grooming and appearance are reflections of self respect and attention to detail. By prioritizing hygiene, style, and personal care, a man enhances his attractiveness, builds confidence, and establishes a strong foundation for meaningful and lasting connections. Reason number 5: lack of respect for a woman's independence. A major reason women may lose interest in a man is when he fails to respect her independence. Women are naturally attracted to men who encourage their individuality, ambitions, and personal freedom, rather than attempting to control or restrict their lives. Respecting her independence signals confidence, trust, and emotional maturity. In real life, this behavior may appear as a man who expects her to spend all her free time with him, dictates her social interactions, or pressures her to prioritize his needs over her own. For example, imagine a woman who enjoys a weekly fitness class or time with friends, but her partner insists she cancel or constantly questions why she isn't spending more time together. Over time, this over-involvement can feel suffocating and reduce attraction, as she may perceive him as insecure or possessive. Women appreciate men who can balance emotional connection with respect for personal space. A healthy relationship allows both partners to grow individually while enjoying shared experiences. Ignoring her independence can lead to tension, frustration, and emotional withdrawal. To improve in this area, focus on cultivating trust and supporting her autonomy. Encourage her to pursue hobbies, friendships, and personal goals without interference. Show genuine interest and celebrate her achievements rather than feeling threatened by them. Avoid making controlling statements or decisions that limit her freedom. Additionally, maintain your own independence and personal life. Pursue personal goals, friendships, and hobbies outside the relationship. Demonstrating self-sufficiency models healthy behavior, reduces dependence, and creates a balanced dynamic where both partners feel free and empowered. Reflection and advice is that women are attracted to men who respect their individuality and autonomy. Supporting her independence demonstrates maturity, confidence, and emotional intelligence. When a man creates space for a woman to thrive while fostering connection, it builds trust, strengthens attraction, and establishes a foundation for a healthy, lasting, and balanced relationship. Reason number 6: poor communication skills. One of the main reasons women may lose interest in a man is poor communication skills. Communication is the foundation of understanding, trust, and emotional connection. Women are naturally attracted to men who can express themselves clearly, listen actively, and engage in meaningful conversation. In real life, poor communication may appear as a man who avoids discussing feelings, responds vaguely to questions, or interrupts and dominates conversations rather than listening. For example, imagine a woman sharing an important personal story, and her partner responds with one-word answers or immediately redirects the topic to himself. She may feel unheard, unappreciated, and emotionally disconnected. Over time, this pattern reduces attraction and can make her reluctant to share or invest emotionally. Women appreciate men who can communicate openly, honestly, and empathetically. Effective communication involves both expressing yourself and actively listening without judgment or interruption. It allows for problem-solving, emotional support, and the deepening of intimacy. Poor communication, on the other hand, creates misunderstandings, frustration, and emotional distance. To improve communication skills, focus on active listening and clear expression of thoughts and feelings. Practice summarizing what she says to show understanding and respond with empathy. Avoid interrupting, dismissing, or assuming you know her perspective before she finishes speaking. Learn to articulate your emotions constructively rather than bottling them up or reacting impulsively. Additionally, cultivate nonverbal communication skills, including eye contact, tone of voice, and body language, which reinforce attentiveness and respect. Positive communication is not limited to words. It also includes how you present yourself physically and emotionally in interactions. Reflection and advice is that women are attracted to men who communicate with clarity, confidence, and empathy. Good communication builds trust, strengthens emotional connection, and creates a sense of security within the relationship. By practicing active listening, thoughtful expression, and emotional awareness, a man can enhance his attractiveness, foster deeper intimacy, and create a strong foundation for a lasting and meaningful relationship. Reason number 7: lack of ambition or purpose. A critical reason women may lose interest in a man is a lack of ambition or purpose in life. Women are naturally attracted to men who demonstrate drive, direction, and a proactive attitude toward personal growth. Ambition signals self-respect, discipline, and the ability to create a secure and meaningful life, which are essential qualities in a potential partner. In real life, this may appear as a man who lacks goals, shows little motivation to improve his career or personal skills, or appears complacent in life choices. For example, imagine a man who consistently spends his free time passively watching TV without pursuing hobbies, learning new skills, or planning for the future. A woman observing this may feel that he lacks initiative, maturity, and the ability to contribute to a partnership that thrives on mutual growth. Over time, this can create a perception of low respect for himself and, by extension, for those around him. Women appreciate men who take responsibility for their future, show enthusiasm for personal development, and maintain a forward-thinking mindset. A lack of ambition can unintentionally communicate indifference, passivity, or a lack of respect for shared goals in a relationship. To overcome this, focus on cultivating a purposeful life and a proactive attitude. Begin by setting clear goals in areas such as career, fitness, personal development, or hobbies. Regularly challenge yourself to grow and achieve milestones that reflect dedication and commitment. Maintaining a positive, can-do attitude demonstrates discipline, motivation, and a willingness to take responsibility for your life. Additionally, demonstrate respect for others' ambitions and goals. Encourage and support her pursuits while sharing your own aspirations. This mutual respect for ambition strengthens emotional connection and admiration within the relationship. Reason number 8: inconsistency and lack of respect. A major reason women lose interest in a man is inconsistency combined with a lack of respect. In relationships, attitude and respect are closely linked. When a man's behavior fluctuates or he disregards boundaries and feelings, it signals unreliability and emotional immaturity. Women are drawn to men who show respect through consistent, dependable, and thoughtful actions. In real life, this may appear as a man who says he will do something but frequently cancels plans without explanation or shows interest one day and distant behavior the next. For example, imagine a man promising to call after work but repeatedly forgetting or making excuses without acknowledging the impact on her day. She may feel undervalued and disrespected, which over time reduces attraction and emotional connection. Disrespect can also manifest in small, everyday actions, such as dismissing her opinions, interrupting during conversations, belittling achievements, or ignoring personal boundaries. A lack of respect communicates that her time, feelings, and needs are not a priority, which can erode trust and admiration. Women appreciate men who demonstrate respect through consistent and considerate behavior. Respectful attitude includes honoring commitments, listening actively, valuing her opinions, and treating her with courtesy in private and public settings. It signals emotional maturity and strengthens attraction. To improve in this area, focus on cultivating reliability and respect in all interactions. Start by following through on promises, being punctual, and showing attentiveness to her needs. Communicate openly about expectations and boundaries while acknowledging her perspective. Avoid dismissive, arrogant, or judgmental behavior, as these can undermine respect and create emotional distance. Additionally, practice self-awareness and reflection. Recognize how your attitude affects the relationship and take responsibility for past mistakes. Show that you value her by demonstrating consistent respect in your words, actions, and decisions. Small gestures of consideration build trust and reinforce positive connection. Reflection and advice is that women are attracted to men who consistently act with integrity and respect, Maintaining a stable, respectful attitude strengthens emotional security, deepens trust, and fosters long term attraction. By prioritizing consistency and respectful behavior, a man creates a foundation for a healthy, balanced, and fulfilling relationship. Reason number 9: arrogance and lack of humility. A significant reason women may lose interest in a man is when he displays arrogance or an inflated sense of self importance without demonstrating respect or humility. While confidence is attractive, excessive pride or dismissive behavior can signal a poor attitude and reduce emotional connection. Women are naturally drawn to men who balance self assurance with humility and treat others with genuine respect. In real life, this behavior may appear as a man constantly boasting about achievements, interrupting conversations to assert dominance, or belittling others' opinions or experiences. For example, imagine a man at a social gathering who disregards what she says, insists he knows better, or criticizes others subtly to appear superior. She may feel undervalued, frustrated, and disconnected from him. Over time. Repeated arrogance erodes trust and emotional intimacy, making her lose interest. Women appreciate men who are confident yet approachable, who can admit mistakes, acknowledge others' contributions, and engage respectfully. Arrogance often conveys a lack of emotional intelligence and can make interactions feel one-sided or disrespectful, which diminishes attraction. To overcome this, focus on cultivating humility and self-awareness. Practice active listening, showing genuine interest in her thoughts and valuing her perspective. Avoid dominating conversations or insisting on being right all the time. Recognize the accomplishments and efforts of others without feeling threatened or needing to compete. Additionally, balance confidence with empathy. Demonstrate that you can be assertive without being dismissive and maintain an attitude of respect even in disagreements. Express gratitude, apologize when necessary, and acknowledge the impact of your words and actions on those around you. Reflection and advice is that women are attracted to men who combine self-confidence with humility and respect. An arrogant or dismissive attitude undermines connection and emotional safety. By focusing on respectful communication, valuing others' opinions, and maintaining an approachable demeanor, a man strengthens attraction, fosters trust, and builds a healthy, long-lasting relationship. Reason number 10: lack of accountability and responsibility. A critical reason women may lose interest in a man is when he avoids accountability and fails to take responsibility for his actions. Women are naturally drawn to men who demonstrate integrity, honesty, and a responsible attitude because it signals emotional maturity and reliability. In reality, a man who consistently blames others, makes excuses, or refuses to acknowledge mistakes creates tension and diminishes respect. In real life, this may appear as a man who fails to follow through on promises, avoids addressing conflicts, or shifts responsibility onto friends, coworkers, or his partner. For example, imagine a man who repeatedly forgets to pay shared bills or commitments and blames traffic, work, or other circumstances instead of acknowledging his oversight. She may perceive this behavior as careless or disrespectful, and over time it can erode trust and emotional connection. Women appreciate men who own their actions and approach mistakes with honesty and willingness to correct them. Avoiding responsibility often signals immaturity or lack of respect, which reduces attraction. Even small incidents like forgetting plans or mismanaging commitments, if not addressed responsibly, can create a pattern of unreliability that pushes women away. To improve in this area, focus on cultivating accountability in all aspects of life. Start by acknowledging mistakes openly without excuses and taking proactive steps to make things right. Demonstrate responsibility through consistent follow-through on promises, timely communication, and honoring commitments. Whether in professional, personal, or romantic contexts, showing that you can be counted on builds trust and admiration. Additionally, maintain a respectful attitude in conflict or challenging situations. Avoid blaming, deflecting, or criticizing others unfairly. Instead, approach problems calmly, offer solutions, and demonstrate empathy toward those affected. Accountability and respect go hand in hand, signaling that you value others' time, feelings, and trust. Reflection and advice is that women are attracted to men who demonstrate responsibility, integrity, and a respectful attitude. Taking ownership of actions and approaching life with accountability builds trust and reinforces attraction. By consistently showing maturity, reliability, and respect, a man fosters deeper emotional connection and establishes a strong foundation for a healthy, balanced, and lasting relationship. Understanding why women may lose interest gives you the power to improve yourself and build stronger, more meaningful connections. Each of these 10 reasons highlights the importance of attitude, respect, emotional intelligence, and personal growth. By being aware of controlling tendencies, emotional instability, arrogance, poor communication, lack of accountability, or neglecting respect and independence, you can take actionable steps to evolve into a more attractive and reliable partner. Remember that real change comes from self-reflection, consistent effort, and genuine care. When you embody confidence, humility, respect, and responsibility, you naturally foster trust, admiration, and lasting attraction in your relationships.